Hi, and welcome to today's iTreeNet replay. Today's presentation will be on iTree species, and our presenter will be Dave Nowak from the U.S. Forest Service, located in Syracuse, New York.
The concept behind this tool was we went through a database of started with a database of about 4,000 species and tried to find specific information about the trees themselves, the leaf type and all sorts of specific information. At the end, we ended up with maybe about 1,500 trees that we actually could get information on, and they're in the database. And you can see if you go to the methods section, which I'm flipping on here, if you're in the United States, that's the default area. You pick your state. I'll just pick Connecticut. Then you pick your city. Go Bridgeport. What that is doing is determining your hardiness zone in the background, so you don't have to look it up. It goes to the database. If you're outside the United States, you pick a country. Doesn't matter where you are, just pick one. And what it's going to ask you then is your average minimum temperature range and your length of growing season. If you're in the U.S., it automatically determines this for you within the model. If you're outside the U.S., you've got to tell us that range. And again, what it's going to do is go through the list and drop out trees that are not hardy to your area, so the list becomes smaller. It only is trying to pick trees that are hardy to that zone. Length of growing season is important for estimates between deciduous trees and evergreen trees. Okay, that's step one. Step two is right in the section here that's called height constraints. You can pick a range of minimum height or maximum height that you want the tree to be at maturity. If you don't select anything, it doesn't restrict the list in any fashion in terms of height. And you can do it in English and metric units. The bottom parts of the screen are where you make your decision. Now, the idea here is you can rate various functions on a score of 0 to 10. 10 being important, the most important to you. 0 means you don't care about it at all. Because we don't know what functions you want back from the tree, so you can weight different ones. You can say, I want a species that's very important to me to get low temperature reduction, air temperature reduction, and I want low allergenicity. Those are the two that are important to you. Or maybe allergenicity is not quite as important as air pollution or air temperature reduction. You set that to a 5. Again, you can pick whatever you want amongst the 8 at the bottom: VOC emissions, that's volatile organic compounds; temperature reduction; stream flow reduction; carbon storage; ultraviolet radiation; allergenicity; wind reduction; and building energy effects. Up above that, you can see air pollution removal. You can do the same thing for all the pollutants overall, scoring between 0 and 10, or you can look at each individual pollutant individually. So I only care about ozone in this case, and that's very important to me, so I want ozone as a 10 in this also. So you make your choices of what's important to you. It's not telling you, we're trying to make a decision based on services, not based on, say, color or anything like that. It's just more what services do you want back from your forest. And once you make those decisions between 0 and 10, you either pick the top 10% or you can look at the all list. I'm going to click on all. And all you do is hit view. You can export this list as a PDF or a rich text format and bring it into your own document. 10%, you can see on the scale. So for the top 10% of the species that are suitable to the area, in this case Bridgeport, Connecticut, from our list, you can see we have ABs, Acer. You can just scroll down the list. For those are the ones that I set, the 10 at ozone, the 10 at temperature, and the 5 at whatever I set the 5 for, I don't remember. And then you keep going down the list. The next group is the next 10%. So you can either view it just at the top 10% or the whole list and export it and help make your decision. The hope is that if you really made this decision right, you look at the top 10% and try to do species on this list. But again, some of these species might not be suitable for your area for various reasons. It just gives you a starting point to make some decisions.